Okay, so today we're going to talk about Canva because a lot of people don't realize that there's so much things on there that you can do on Canva that can help you turn something into a business. Guys, this is the ticket for you to get into that virtual assistant space and start that online business because Canva is just so easy to use. And you want to know what the best part is? No experience required. You can literally learn the skill, practice, and get out there and get some clients, yo. I encourage you to stick to the end, especially if you've been wanting to create extra income. Today I'm going to share 4 ways you can use Canva as a virtual assistant or online business with no experience at all. So the first way you can use Canva is you could actually create Instagram content for clients. So let me go a little deeper. Is you could create posts and carousels, especially now that you could actually edit video in Canva. You can have the client send you footage and you can basically set up all their reels for the week without anyone ever using their face. So if they wanted to, and if that was their brand style, you can create reels with words. So pretty much an animation version. I just wanted to show you the possibilities of Canva because you're probably in your mind, you're like, well, I don't have any skills in terms of designing or whatever it may be. But if you're helping a client with Instagram, you could tactically be creating reels based on these templates. So there's literally no excuse or based on their style and get creative. And the thing about it is that the more you do it, the better you get, right? So there's so many opportunities here. And another thing too is even though I said like they could send you footage, they may not even have to send you footage. So let me show you this. So I had created this for myself and I just put quotes. Like I didn't even have to put like my face on there. And I just put simple quotes. And so when it plays out, like this is how the reel would look. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities. Another thing too is that you can now edit video. This is like a video I did. And I just basically cut a clip out from a YouTube video. And then I basically put a design around it. So let me show you. And the truth is that so you see like it just plays like normal. And you basically see like different text changing. So the possibilities are endless with what you can do with Canva, especially if you want to help clients on Instagram. So don't let that stop you. If you feel like, oh, well, I don't have that much skills, like this is usually all they need. You're going to notice that it's usually very simple. They usually look like these, where it's simple words, there may be footage, and you maybe just need to add words. It depends on the client, right? But I just want to show you this, that it's endless, especially if you're making a portfolio, it is endless. And we're going to talk about that later in the video. Create website mockups. And if you want to even take it a step further, I would even encourage you to learn drag and drop. Develop a new skill in terms of creating websites because that's where it's at right now. And this is something I actually tested myself. And so this is how I got the idea. So what I would usually do is I would create a mock-up of a design that I want for a website that I'm creating or a funnel. And then I would then transfer what I created in that mock-up and make it adaptable to the platform that I'm using. So in my case, I do this in ClickFunnels. So I would usually create the mock-up. I would then create the design with the right dimensions and then transfer it over into ClickFunnels. So you can potentially be creating websites for someone as long as they're doing a drag and drop feature, because this will only work for that unless you know coding. But if you're good with drag and drop and you're tech savvy, I would really encourage you to do that. And what you could do with this is if someone needs a website and they're like, hey, I would like to do a website. If you find a drag and drop type platform, you can technically do it for that person, especially if someone needs a website. And nowadays, there's so many resources out there where you can learn it. Let me show you what I mean. This way was something I discovered on my own. And I was like, wait, this is like an opportunity. So you could actually do your website mockups in here. Now, before you're saying, yeah, but I don't know any designs, it's something that you can learn. You can actually do your website mockups right in here. And before you're saying, yeah, but I don't know how to create any websites, you can learn. There's a lot of drag and drop type website platforms that you can use. And so you can see here, like, in Canva, they have like a lot of website templates that you can use. It does connect right to a Canva website. So this is something I discovered over time, and I was like, oh, it actually works. So I originally started off like this. Like, this was just meant to be an inspiration, right? So you could see it's called Mockup. And what I did is, I went on Pinterest and I got inspiration because I wanted to create a website for one of my services. And so then I built it up more and it turned into this. Right? So this is everything I did. And how I did it was I would do page by page. I envisioned a page and I was like, okay, so the first section, I want there to be a picture. Second section, I want there to be a little button. This is represents a button. And then the words, you can see I'm using Lauren Sum because I was just trying to get a visual of what it would look like. This is where it got really good. And this is what I mean by, like, if you don't know drag and drop or website builders, learn how to do it. And let me know in the comments if this is something that you want me to demonstrate and maybe test out other website builders. So let me show you this. So this is what it turned into. This was the first page. Remember this page? This ended up being the first page. This ended up being the following page. So when they click I'm ready, it goes to this page. And you'll see, like, when I scroll down, like, it just basically developed. What I would usually do is in Canva, I would create the elements. So you see all these elements. I would actually create this on another page so it fits the dimensions, so that way when I download it, so when I upload it here, all the dimensions are good. So I created all this in Canva and just basically put the puzzles together. You can legit create ebooks for people, templates. I'm talking where people can buy templates and they can basically stick in whatever they want to stick into that ebook that you created. And these are usually what you would call freebies. Yes, you could charge for it, but a lot of business nowadays use these as freebies so people can give their email and exchange to give them some sort of free value so people get to know them. Don't underestimate this because it may seem simple. There's people out there that don't have time to design and they just want a template to just plug and play. Or they may want you to design a design from scratch. Possibilities are endless. And if you want to take it even a step further, they may want you to even create the ebook. They give you the points and you write out all the information in the ebook so it's pretty much good to go and set. Let me show you around to what I mean. So remember when we talked about ebooks, I wanted to show you this. There's people out there that legit design ebooks and templates for people where they could just plug in the information. And most of the time they design it on Canva. Like, that's the true secret. And let's see what it looks like. And you see, this is just the cover. You can literally make it your own. Just look at that, just by deleting that. And then let's say if you added a photo and you're like, oh, I want to put a photo of myself or that person, whoever they are. You could change it up. You go there to sparkle. And then let's say if I remove the background. I'm just trying to show you an example, right, of you creating an ebook cover for someone. Imagine if you put a little glow and then boom, you have a cover right there and you make it your own. And you can start literally practicing doing this for people and creating covers. There's so much opportunities for this. And another thing too is depending on what you're comfortable with. And you could also choose from minimalist and you're you know what, I only want a minimalist design. Or I only want modern, and you could choose from here. And you see how it says the 1 of 5. So that means someone has already created it. So you can see within the ebook, there's already a layout that you can use. Obviously, not all of them have it. Some of them just have covers, but you could still take inspiration from this layout and then apply it elsewhere. Does that make sense? If you don't like the 2 columns, you make it into 1 column. And there's someone out there that will like it. And you can make it however that person wants you to make it. So even going back to this, just giving an example, and then you still use as the header. Oops. Just do this. And then you're about me. And then, you just start building it out. About me, and then you put a nice little line there and you just continue going with the rhythm. You see how you could just play around with the elements and you're bound to find something that's professional, that works for you. And like, say if it's like about me, and then you put a picture here. So like you put a little element here, you know, like you can tell I'm having real fun with this. So let's say this was like the placeholder, you put a picture here, and then you would then create text and put text here, right? And you use the lorem sum, right? And so it's that easy. Like you can literally create your templates in here and get going, where you just sell it to people and then they replace their own photo, they insert their photos, they insert their own text. You don't necessarily have to do them. So lots of options, guys, lots of options. So by the way, tell me in the comments what you're thinking of using Canva for your new online business to make that extra moolah. And the last one is Facebook. So if you want to do social media for people for Facebook, oh, this kind of goes hand in hand with Instagram, but this is a platform, so I thought this deserves something of its own. Guys, this is for you, even if it piques your interest. There's lots to do on Facebook, and you can be creating Facebook posts for people, giving them live ideas. You can be creating quote posts, animations, even preparing stories. You can do this on Instagram as well, but a lot of Facebook is a lot of photos and a lot of quote posts, even engagement type posts. So that's what Facebook consists of, and you could easily create it there, and you could easily create it on Canva and then do this for your client and create different posts for your client, whether it's in a Facebook group or Facebook page. Let me show you what I mean, like demonstrations of what I mean. Okay, so in terms of Facebook posts, this was one of the Facebook posts I've done on my own page, and usually I'll put a little avatar and then I would put some words and boom, slap it on there. Sometimes you could put a little signature, but I don't need to do that because it's a Facebook profile. If you're in groups, you could definitely do that. When you go on Facebook posts, like you can literally find so many different things. You can click on simple, and these can be Facebook posts. So a lot of these are really good on Facebook pages, like business pages, where you want to put a quote and you want to put a little picture, or you want to just put a quote. So you see like these are ones where it's just like a few words and that's it. And like how it was made fun, and you can make it your own too. Like you don't have to do it like exactly like this, but if you want to become a VA for Facebook page and Facebook posts, you could literally take templates from there and spin them, make them your own. It's so fun. And then done. Do stories on here, like it's endless. I didn't talk about this for Instagram, but you could do that as well. Like they all go hand in hand. There's a lot of story ideas here as well, so there's a lot for you to work with. It's a good idea to have a portfolio of examples to show people, because people will ask for it. I know I do, especially if it has anything to do with being creative or anything with designs. This is something that you want to have. And if you're like, but Nickia, I don't have any experience creating a website and a portfolio. Listen, child, here's what I have for you, especially if you didn't know. You could actually create websites on Canva. Yeah, it's that easy. And so what you do is you'll create that portfolio on Canva, and then you would head to the website called Rebrandly, and then basically you just mask it with a website domain. And I'll show you, so don't worry about that. I'm going to show you. Okay, so I really wanted to talk a little bit about the portfolio websites, because a lot of people don't realize that you could do this. And the best part about this is, for the most part, it's free. Unless it has that little crown that you see here, it's free, guys. And so if you want to start your business by using one of those tips that I showed you, one of the skills, whatever you decide to focus on, you can literally come on here, because you need a portfolio site, like I said. And you type in website, then you type in portfolio websites. So you don't even have to know how to design, right? You make it your own if you want to, but you can literally just plug in your picture and you'll be good to go, and make it as simple as you want. So let's say if you're doing the Instagram or the Facebook post or even the website mockups, you can literally create them, do a few, maybe do 2 or 3, and then put examples here. The biggest pet peeves I see is when you ask VAs for work and all they show you is their services, but they don't have any examples. Create examples, and if you have links to those examples, even better, so it can go into a bigger page. But anyways, that's just a side note. Let's say if this was it, and then you'll click publisher's website. You choose how you want to present it. It could either be like presentation, or it could be scrolling. So let me show you. So it can scroll like this, or classic navigation. So you would go to the menu and then it would basically jump to wherever you need them to jump. But I would go with the scrolling at this point, because that way the person can just scroll. If they see your portfolio, it's easy. And then what you're going to do is you'll take the domain. You would go here, go to Rebrandly. So what Rebrandly does is you would be able to input the website into this site. And what it does is you have your own domain. So you do need to have a domain. So you would buy a domain. So whatever your name is, say if it was hannahmorales.com. And so what happens is that whenever you go on Rebrandly, it would shorten the link. So let's say if it was Hannah Morales as your website, right? It will allow you to make a shortcut. So let's say if you want to call it portfolio. So whenever you give someone this website right here, what will happen is it would automatically redirect to this website. It's so easy, guys. It's actually free. And if you want to too, you could just post that link if you wanted to, if you don't want to go through going on Rebrandly. Now I want to talk more about how you can get these type of jobs and actually claim them, yo. I just wanted to show you the possibilities. So especially if you were to just look for a job that people were looking for, especially if you're looking for a position on social media to basically design content for people for IG. And these are some of the things I found, like graphic designer to create IG and LinkedIn for a health wellness brand. And they say here, we're looking for a part-time freelance graphic designer to craft compelling digital narratives for social media, Instagram and LinkedIn. And basically what I would do here, which would make you really stand out, is if you actually try to find a brand. If you can't find a brand, try to do examples of what you would do for their company, because a lot of people are not doing that. A lot of people are just sending what they already have, but the more you can relate to them, the more they can imagine you working for them, the better. And so if you want to stand out, create that portfolio and you send it right in here, right on Upwork. So the next one was the graphic designer and social media copywriter. And you see here, they're pretty much looking for someone to create social media posts. And they make it clear here, it's promotional posts for LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And they say they have a strong brand presence. And yes, so though they say Adobe graphic designer, you could easily create it in Canva. And especially if you wow them and you create a very customized portfolio made for them, you can easily get it, right? And that's why it's important to have like as much variety as possible. But if you really wanted it, you can easily tailor it. Even if you don't have experience, you could be like, hey, I don't have experience, but I basically attempted to create some stuff for your brand. And these are some examples. This is stuff I would do to give them an idea. So I just wanted to show you an example of where you find these jobs. Definitely they're on Upwork. Under graphic design or social media posts, you'll find them what's right for you. I just showed you a lot. So tell me in the comments if you're going to try it or not, or have you done it before?